Welcome to the Holborn Assets channel. In this series we look at major events in the history of economics that help to shape the world we live in today. If any of you think of an event we missed, or there's some topic on money and finance you'd like us to discuss, just leave a comment and it'll help us make the videos you want to see. On the 29th of January 1886, Benz patented his design for the first gasoline-powered car, imaginatively called the Model 1. Its horsepower was pretty pathetic by modern standards, but there's no denying the impact it had on the planet, both for the better and the worse. In 1888, Bertha Benz went on a spontaneous 180-kilometre day trip in one of her husband's gas-powered cars. This journey captured the industry's imagination for the possibilities of the car and demonstrated the future of travel for the wider public, helping Benz to establish one of the leading car manufacturing plants. German car adverts have proven to be a potent force through the years. Volkswagen successfully launched the Beetle on the American public in the late 1950s with the slogan, "Think Small." With these simple two words and a unique design, they defied the American car industry's belief that bigger is better and successfully launched the city car as a concept. In 1926, Benz joined forces with Mercedes, and the company went on to become one of the most successful car manufacturers in the world today, with an annual turnover approaching $2 billion and ending 2016 as Formula One champions. The first great financial crash of 1929 left the US economy in tatters and led to a long period of uncertainty and poverty for the average American. One of the main factors for the subsequent recovery of the economy was the US Gold Reserve Act of 1934. The act itself made it illegal for private individuals in America to own or trade in gold, with the exception of certain items of jewellery and collectible coins. Hey, what's life without a little bling and a coin collection? This meant all gold was purchased and owned by the US Treasury, and the act made sure that the seller got an inflated rate on any gold sold. So now, the US economy was awash with more paper money and was attracting gold from other countries as investors came to cash in on the deal. This boosted the GDP, printed more money, and stimulated the economy in the sale of durable goods, house building, and all the things that restore the public confidence and makes consumer countries tick. It also meant the US Treasury had suddenly acquired a pretty impressive coin collection of its own, just in case hard times were to come again. When US President Bill Clinton agreed to loan Mexico $20 billion on the 31st of January 1995, the decision was met with serious skepticism from the American public. A bailout was not an appealing idea at the time. After all, the Mexican economy was on the verge of failing completely, so why throw US money at another country's problem? Clinton argued that the knock-on effect for a failing Mexico would be an increase in illegal immigration to the US, border issues between the two countries, and a disaster for US exports to Mexico. The $20 billion loan propped up the Mexican economy and increased trade for the US. Not only that, but it prevented a country from failing into economic disaster and the costly humanitarian crisis that usually follow. The US also made a handsome return on the loan, as the Mexican government fully repaid the $20 billion with $500 million in interest in 1997. Not to forget that this also generated a tremendous amount of goodwill between the governments and led to the first legal use of a saxophone in a mariachi band. So, that was the week. We're sure there were plenty of other important stuff going on, but we don't want to get too carried away, right? Don't forget to subscribe to Holborn Assets, not just to learn more about the history of economics, but also for plenty of videos on how to spot scams, make simple investments, start saving, and just generally take control of your finances.